What's something you used to be insecure about in your business and now you own it completely?
Not knowing what I'm doing.
Which is?
Everything.
And today we're doing Kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing what's broken with gold. I think
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that's stunning. You went on Dragon's Den. It's almost every entrepreneur's dream to go to Dragon's Den. But what changed for you personally, professionally?
Going on Dragon's Den completely changed my life.
Do you have any word of advice to give to any young entrepreneur on what should they do to prepare for it?
My word of advice is do not go in there with...
What's the weirdest thing you've done for content for a campaign?
Oh my gosh.
What is the secret sauce of HairSyrup's TikTok growth?
Honestly, I think people get sick of me saying it, but...
If you are new here, I'm Garima, the host of Popkast with Garima, and this is season 4. Oh, and a big shout out to rollercoaster.health. Rollercoaster.health is a women's healthcare company which supports you in your hormonal highs and lows and twists and turns. Thank you, rollercoaster.health. What's common between a bottle of hair oil, TikTok, and a garage in the UK? Well, that's part of the founder story of my podcast date today, Lucie Macleod, a 24-year-old powerhouse behind HairSyrup. Lucie started her brand mixing hair oils at home, launched the brand from her garage, scaled it to a 6-figure business. She even landed a spot on Dragon's Den. In today's episode of Popkast with Garima Season 4, as you know, all my guests and I go on a wellness activity date together. And today we're doing Kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing what's broken with gold. And that's pretty much like how building a business is, right? Cracks in confidence, breaks in the process, and honestly figuring it all out while going along. Thank you, Lucie, for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
This episode is for the beginners, the builders, and honestly everybody who's navigating it through, winging it, and joining the pieces together. So join us for Kintsugi.
I'll go for this one. Plus.
Okay. I'm gonna take this. It's beautiful.
This one's really pretty.
What we're gonna do is just basically you need to put your hand this way on the side, not in the middle, obviously. Be aware of your fingers. And we should basically break it here. Be mindful of this part. We don't need to break this one. Just like simply do it once and that's it.
Yeah.
But while you do that, you need to make a wish.
Oh
Gosh. Oh no, this is
cute.
This is your time to shine. Okay. Oh, I think it is.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
This
wow.
is ready to go. This is really good, you know? It didn't break in many pieces. It didn't break in just 2. So you've got a very good combination. Think about your wish. Something nice.
You have many?
Oh yeah. Too many to choose from. Okay, let me have a think. Because this is, you know when I get really stressed, you know, like on your birthday when you're gonna make a wish? I get quite stressed because I have too many things I want in life. Let me have a think.
You know that song? Be careful what you wish for, cause you just might get it all.
Yeah, like, you've got to be careful what you wish for now.
You just might get it all.
We manifest things a lot, don't we? And then we're like, oh my god, that's actually happened. We spoke about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
no. More.
More.
Little power. Let's. Wait.
Is it broken?
Nope.
What a soft
Let me
G.
actually do something else for you this way.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Is that 10?
Yeah.
No.
No! Oh my gosh! I'm really not.
It's all right.
Okay, let me try again.
Oh, okay. I think.
No.
What does this mean?
It's a big wish.
It's a big wish. Okay.
Yay!
I think we.
Well
Oh my
Oh
gosh!
my god, that's stunning.
This is amazing. It's gonna be a very nice alignment of things here, so this is really beautiful.
Where is it that I have to join this from? Like this.
Okay, I think I've done it.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice. This. And then this.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think I have seen this before.
Okay.
Cool. And apply pressure until it aligns well. Cool.
Oh god.
8 months before I started HairSyrup, I had a careers meeting with a careers advisor there. She said, "Oh, you want to start a business?" And I said, "Oh yeah." And she was like, "Oh, have you got any ideas? You know, university's a really good time to start a business. Lots of students have businesses." And I said, "Oh yeah, no, God no." I was like, "I wouldn't do it now." And she was like, "Oh, why?" I said, "Oh, I want to wait till I'm older and I'm, you know, more settled and got more experience." And she was like, "Word of advice." And then she asked me, "What age would you like to start a business?" And I said, "Oh, maybe when I'm 35. And she said, "If you're 35 and you've got 2 kids and a husband and 2 cats and a dog and a mortgage,"
Yeah.
she said, "it's going to be a lot harder when you're like 35 to start a business than it is now. It's time as well, you know." And she was like, "You're so time rich right now. You'll never be as kind of free as you are now. And maybe if you want to do it, don't hang around."
Well, did you go back and thank that teacher?
I honestly, couldn't even tell you what her name was.
Oh.
And she wasn't a teacher, she was like a careers advisor.
I see.
And I don't even know what her name was. And I've asked since, and I forgot it even happened until maybe about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And I thought, oh my God, she said that to me. And how weird was that? Because then I did. And I would have loved to have spoke to her. And I've said to my uni, surely someone can look in my records and find who that meeting was with. But they've got so many people working there.
What a bummer. Tell me something. You went on Dragon's Den. It's almost every entrepreneur's dream to go to Dragon's Den. And we will talk about the experience. But what changed for you personally, professionally? Do you have any word of advice to give to any young entrepreneur who's listening to this on what should it do to prepare for it? How has it been for you ever since then?
Wow. Well, it's funny because going on Dragon's Den has completely changed my life, irrecognisably. And Stevens came down and spoke to me afterwards because I was upset. You know, I'll obviously go into more detail about it, but I was really upset with the way that it went. I didn't really understand how television worked, and I was so naive going in. I genuinely just thought, they all hate me. I've done something wrong. I haven't impressed them. And obviously, well, that wasn't the case. And he said, Lucy, I was like, oh, you know, I thought this is the end of it now, and my business is stupid, and this is all silly. And he said, you watch now, you'll go on this. And he was like, that'll be it for you. This is the beginning. Yeah. And I said, what? I was like, you've just rejected me. How can this be? And he was laughing. He was in the studio, and he was laughing at me, and he said, no, this will start your career. He was like, this is going to be a whole new world for you. After this airs, he said, you'll contact me in a year's time and you'll say, oh, you were right. And I don't know how he was so sure, but I guess he's probably seen it, done it so many times himself, he just knows. And that's exactly what's happened. And it's like, you asked me earlier, you know, you said, oh, it looks really fun. And it is, but only has been since I went on Dragon's Den. The only thing I would say, so I've had a few conversations with people, and people have literally said to my face, look at you, since you went on Dragon's Den, all these amazing things have happened, I'm going to go on Dragon's Den. And the same thing will happen to me. Someone actually said to me, I hope I get rejected like you did. And I thought, what you're going on with the intention of,
sure,
I hope I get rejected, because when you got rejected, I said, yeah, but it was amazing because when you got rejected, you did this. And I said, yeah, but that's my journey. That was my story. And with a show like Dragon's Den, it is so brutal in there that if you go in thinking you're going to outsmart them and you're going to try and get this and play this game. It won't work like that. They are so astute and just on it. You know, they were looking for things in me, a flicker of anything. And like I said, I was completely open and they couldn't find anything and they said to me, there's no way, what secret are you hiding? You can't just be this. And I said, no, this is me. And they were, what game are you playing? I was like, I'm not. I'm genuinely just being me. So yeah, it kind of worries me a bit. Like I said, people going, oh my God, I hope I get rejected by all 6. I thought, what, you want to be standing on that stage? And I don't think people understand, not to sound negative, but you have to do it to experience it and know what it's like. It was not nice at all. It was humiliating. And I felt like a joke, you know. I'd just been rejected by 6 people. So I'd say if you're going to go on, make sure you're clear as to why you're going on. Are these done?
Yeah. I think the way you literally turned the narrative and flipped the script for yourself and for the brand was incredible, and that's why maybe they think that, you know, being rejected is the mantra to go viral, but it's actually not the other way around. And then you said a word which was authentic, and your brand, your personal brand, your HairSyrup is all built on the foundation of a lot of authenticity, which is also the fact that your brand is the poster child of any TikTok brand that can be out there. So do you think, what's the way, and don't give me the templatized answer, but what is the secret sauce of HairSyrup's TikTok growth? And tell me actionable things, okay? Like things that really young entrepreneurs can learn from you.
Honestly, I think people get sick of me saying it, but just, you know, I compare it to, it's like asking, how do you become an influencer? What, you know, how can you be, if you take Molly May, for example, how can you be, how did she grow? How did she turn into what she is? And it's just that people just like her, you know, and they're interested in her and they're invested in her. And I do think it's the same thing for brands. I just think, you know, yeah, there are ways, like I was speaking to the guy who owns Luxe Collective. Have you seen them on TikTok?
Yeah.
So I was speaking to him the other day about it, and we were just saying you can literally see people on TikTok now because, like you said, you've got these brands like mine and they've become the poster child, the blueprints of how to do it. And you can see people and they're seeing that there are these formulaic sort of posts that you can make, and you can have this founder story and it can capture people's imaginations, and you can say, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here, and kind of bringing people along. Like, people know that works, but I don't know why anyone would do that if that's not
their true story.
Not their true story.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would build a brand that's not real around, you know, I don't know why anyone would do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, content-wise, I have to push it. Be yourself, because there's someone for everyone, especially on TikTok. You can be the most niche content creator and you'll find your audience who love you and watch your stuff. This is how I see it as well. No one can compete with HairSyrup. No one can threaten or compete with it or copy it or duplicate it, because it is just so me and so raw and authentic, and I don't worry about things like that. In terms of just content strategy in general, we are quite aggressive with always have been ever since I started, you know, quite aggressive with our posting. So we post a lot, high volumes, you know, 15, 20 times a day we post on TikTok, which is a lot.
Wow. And has that been since the start of the brand?
I mean, not when I was first doing it, because I was obviously a student, I didn't have time.
Yeah.
But even when it was tiny, I was pretty pushy on TikTok. I always have been. I just wanted HairSyrup, and I've always said this since the beginning. And again, if you're starting a brand, it's good to be very clear. I knew nothing about business when I started HairSyrup, but I knew a big thing for me for the brand. I used to say this, even when I was small, I want it to be everywhere. I want it to be all over. I want everyone to know about it. And I just want it to be everywhere. Our content strategy, style, whatever you want to call it, it changes all the time. We post things, sometimes they don't work. We do a lot of trend-led stuff. So anything that's going on TikTok, we know about it. We'll do a trend about it. We'll apply it to us. We'll use a sound. We'll make a video. We're like that.
What's your content team? What's the size of the content team?
2.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's
tiny
not-
but mighty.
Well, honestly,
Yeah.
someone actually said to me about 3 days ago, oh, you need to hire now, because we've just launched on TikTok Shop Island. So we've got another page to manage. Oh, you need to hire now, you know, someone to help you and Lucy. And I just thought, people have no idea what it's like to find someone who can gel the way Lucy and I do and do the content in the same style. It's really difficult. But as small as Lucy and I have the same name, and people just love it, and they know us. And Lucy's blonde, I'm brunette. We're both called Lucy. We're very different in a lot of ways, sort of polar opposites sometimes. And people like to watch Lucy and I. People think social media is just running around and filming. It's not. You know, we do have to sit down at our laptops and do hard work, of course, as well. But we spend a lot of our time doing stuff like that. Quite interesting the way we run the business, very different from most businesses, because we keep a lot of stuff in-house. So we do the product filling in-house, we do our own order fulfillment, a lot of it. So it's really interesting the way that it all works, and I think people like to see how a business actually operates, rather than just you order from a big brand and it shows up at your door the next day. You don't really know what's happened or how it's got to you or how it's there, but it is, and I think we give them a bit of a look inside,
which is part of very intentional founder-led brand, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What was the last thing you Googled for your business?
Oh my gosh, shall I have a look?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Oh my God, you manage between 2 phones?
3.
She's got 3. This was his as well.
Wow.
Right, to do with work. It was literally currency. This was to do with work. Currency exchange, pound to euro.
Okay. If you could do a dream brand collab tomorrow with HairSyrup, who's the first brand that comes to your mind?
We want to do a brand collab with Gymshark.
Oh my God.
Because so many people use HairSyrup before they go to the gym. Like so many people. So that would be amazing.
I was at Gymshark literally yesterday. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah. That would be so fun.
Yeah, I feel like it would work.
But that's also a very interesting take. You know, usually like with a Gymshark, I imagine an electrolytes brand, for example, or a hydration brand, but like to have a hair oil brand with Gymshark is genius.
I think so. I've wanted to do it for quite a while.
Let's manifest it.
I'll put it on my vision board.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Which PR agency or beauty editor gave you your first real break in terms of publishing about HairSyrup?
Okay, I know this. When I was tiny, saw a girl who was a hair care influencer. I don't even know if she does it anymore. She was really big during lockdown. She used HairSyrup on a video. Oh my gosh, what was the publication? I really want to get this right. So it was this article. It was in a publication called thefem.co.uk, and it was Claire Stevenson. She was the
Let's
first
see
person.
this. It says, why pre-wash treatments are important for your hair health.
Yep.
Interesting.
And I was a nobody.
And that
man.
blew up?
I don't know. It was amazing though.
Now this one is called Mistakes I Made So You Don't Have To. So things I wish I knew before starting my business.
Oh my gosh. So many.
Me.
Yeah, don't hire Lucy. No, on a genuine though, especially if you're a kind of young female founder, be very careful with your hiring choices. That can be really detrimental to your business. Make sure you've got people in the business who you trust, who have good intentions. That's really, really important, because the people you've got in your company can make or break it. Be careful with cash flow and just money in general. Look after your money, save it. I didn't spend on a single advert I'd been running HairSyrup for 3 years before I paid any money before I did paid ads. It was all organic growth. So I made a LinkedIn post about it the other day, and people in my comments were just saying, that is such, and I basically said, my business turned over 5 mil.
Oh yeah, I read
Did you
that
see
post.
it?
And you didn't hire a graphic designer, you didn't have this, that.
No paid ads, stuff like that. So I was, no ads agencies or anything. So and it is true, like you don't need to have everything pretty and polished and perfect. You just need to, go for it.
Okay, what do you think is your founder's superpower?
Gosh, I'd say I'm really creative. I'm not very logistically minded. I'm very creative, and I think that's what drives the brand, really.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you've done for content for a campaign?
my gosh. The weirdest thing I've done for content for a campaign, this is quick fire, so it would take me about an hour.
Oh no, I laughed.
Lucy pretended that Lucy left hair syrup.
Ah, yes. Oh my God, I think that was the April Fool's thing.
That went so viral.
Yeah. I'm such a regular with your brand. I know it.
Oh, really?
Now. Yeah.
All of the Dragon's Den.
Oh my God, the Dragon's Den content. Made memes about Tuka Suleiman. Dressed up as Willy Wonka's a good one. Dressed up as a Oompa Loompa. A witch.
That was a weird one.
And what's one red flag young founders should watch out for when choosing suppliers or manufacturers?
Oh gosh, so many. People who overpromise, underdeliver. People who are, what do they say? Jack of all trades, what's that saying?
Master of none.
Master of none. So people who, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that, oh yeah, I can do this, oh yes, and I can do that. No. If you're going to choose a supplier, make sure that they're specialised in one area. And also, I wouldn't work with any suppliers, manufacturers now who I didn't have a personal recommendation for.
Okay. And what's something you used to be insecure about in your business and now you own it completely, initially?
Not knowing what I'm doing.
Which is?
Everything. No, I would say feeling I'm not a real business person. I don't know how to make graphs in Excel, and I don't know how to do this with the numbers, and I don't know how to do that, and I don't know about forecasting, and I don't know how to do a stock take. And
That is so interesting you say that, because I think what is the biggest friction for a lot of entrepreneurs is the fact that it's great to know your numbers, but the fact that maybe if you're not great at it, because much like you, I'm creative, but not the best with my numbers, because I'm soon going on my entrepreneurial journey. So I am literally taking all of this from you just to show up, and it's all gonna get into place. And I think so many young girls look up to you, and what you've done is incredible. So
oh, thank you so much. That's really kind. Yeah, I just don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry about. I watch people and they say, "Oh, I'm going to start a business," and before they've even sold a product, they're saying, "Oh, I need to get trademarked. I need to get my IP sorted. I need to go limited. I need to do this. I need to get." And I'm just like, whoa. You haven't even sold anything.
Yeah.
You don't know that anyone's going to want to buy this.
Is HairSyrup trademarked now?
Yes. Do you know what? I did do that though. A couple of months. That was probably one of the only smart things that I did. I did actually get it trademarked. Not long into when I started, but we've redone it now globally and stuff. So, but yeah, I actually did get it trademarked. And I think, to be honest, if you start a tiny business and 1 month in you get a cease and desist from some big brand saying you're infringing on our trademark, I would take that as, oh, that's a sign. I'd probably take it as, okay, let me just rename that, and I would probably claim that as being part of my story.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Lucy, for taking out the time. I hope you enjoyed repairing these bowls with gold.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I want to know like the meaning behind mine. How do we do that?
You'll find.
But thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I had so much fun chatting with you.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.